Yo, what's up my bubbly boys, back here in a video. As per usual, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and today's video we're going to be having a pretty awesome video. This video is going to be my updated Mitsurugi live tune deck profile, but with a little bit of a twist to it. I did add a lot of new stuff and new text I really want to show you guys. So that's why, even though I did do this quite recently, there is some new things I picked up on the deck, and I really want to show you guys because this will help you out a ton if you're playing this deck or planning to play this deck, because this variant helps out a lot. And then now with the new text I've learned, it just makes this deck even better, right? So yeah, I did add a lot of different stuff to it, which you actually can see right now compared to my previous list, but we'll be getting into that into this video. So yeah, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please consider doing so. And yeah, so before I hop right into it, I do want to apologize for the lack of content for the past 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah, life has been hectic, man, especially with like school and stuff. So yeah, school's been a struggle. So yeah, apologies for that, but I promise you, now Thanksgiving break is coming around, I'm gonna be posting a lot more content to you guys as much as I can to make up for that. Okay. So yeah, let's hop right into it. And don't worry, also, by the way, don't worry, I am going to be posting that live to masterclass sometime soon. I honestly just got to figure out a day to do it, and figure out a day where I do not trip over my own words so much. Okay, and yeah, so let's hop right into it. So for the main deck, this would be a 44 card main deck, the same as last time, mainly due to the fact that we're running 4 bricks in the deck, 4 hard bricks in the deck that you don't want to be drawing at all. I mean, Saji is probably the worst one to draw into, but like these are 4 cards you still don't want to be drawing into, plus the suite. You don't want to be drawing into suite either, so this is why I'm running a 44 card main deck. It has never caused me no problems. There is no consistency issues in this, so honestly I recommend you keep this at 44, and you could round it up to 45 too if you want to, but don't keep it at 40, 41, 42. I recommend like at least 43. Okay, so yeah, that's right, the reason why for the 44 card main deck. But yeah, let's hop right into it. So for the live tunes, we are running 3 Key Skill, 3 Frost. This should be already self-explanatory by now. These are your main starters. And then Sunny Snitch is also to get to these starters. So you have a total of 9 key skill monsters here, which is really nice. And of course, 1 Lila for the name. You do need a name in the deck, so you do need to run this. And this is also a starter as well, so I don't see why you wouldn't run it, right? And of course, you also have the 1 suite, okay? Don't run more than 1 suite. 1 suite is fine, okay? You do not need more. It is not a starter. It does not help you extend in any shape or form. It is simply a brick, okay? So next we also have 1 Lacrima, 3 Engravers, and then after that 1 Sanct. I purposely chose to run Sanct over Tract, mainly due to the fact that Droll really hurts the Mitsurugi side of this deck, right? So I don't want to have Mitsurugi like Habakiri in my hand and go ahead, grow Saji, grab the Ritual, and then have my opponent Droll me, and after that have Engraver in hand or something like that, and then after that I can't use Engraver, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Or let's say if I use Engraver, grab the Tract, and Tract loses to Droll automatically, right? So I don't want to have 2 engines losing to Droll in this deck, especially since Droll is kind of prevalent in this format, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think it's going to be as prevalent as much due to the fact that K9 and Draco Tail is having a lot more popularity, but Droll is still around, so I do want to be able to stop Droll as much as I can. So by running just Sanct, it gives 2 of my engines not losing to Droll, well, and only 1 of my engines will, instead of having the Tract plus the Lurry, and after that 2 of my engines will lose to Droll automatically, right? So I don't want to have so much of my deck losing to Droll, because this deck is not even supposed to be losing to Droll as it is. Most of the time you even want them to Droll, so that way you don't have to worry about full loss, or if you want them to Droll, because then after that your deck doesn't lose to Droll anyway. So that's one. If you can mitigate that weakness, then you're gonna take that opportunity to do so. Plus Lurry is another brick, so we did have the opportunity to cut another brick in the deck and still have the same it's the same thing, basically same consistency, just 1 less brick in the deck, which is really nice, right? And yeah, for the Mitsurugi stuff, we're running 3 Hapakiri and 3 Prayers. and one pre-prep. Okay, so I know I have run pre-prep in the past, but reason why I'm running one pre-prep now, you could like decide to maybe run a second copy or a third copy of this, fitting this in there, but I don't really want to have to totally rely on my Mitsurugi stuff too much, so only one is fine for me in my personal opinion. But reason why I'm running it is because it is a thrust target, so going second, if you do need the extra push or do need access to an engine, you could get to a pre-prep, and pre-prep can get you to like either like a Habikiri that could get you to your Mitsurugi engine, but the Mitsurugi engine can further extend your board. So if you're going first and they nib you or whatever, that's fine, because then you could go into something like zombie vampire that can help you further extend through that Nibiru or something like that. Just say if they were Nibiru somewhere really like valuable there, you could thrust for a pre-prep, and a pre-prep can really just give you the extra push that you need in order to win the game from there, right? So this is either really good going first and going second. It's very good ash bait and stuff like that. It's so good, especially if you have a Kisco in hand and you drop this on them. You go ahead and search for like the Habikiri plus the mirror, and they draw you or something like that. Oh, boom, okay, I don't care about draw. You go ahead and normal some Kisco, you're fine. You don't have to worry about any other hand traps really, because the only thing you really lose to is Fuwa, right? So, which is insanely good, right? I really been liking pre-prep, so if you're not running pre-prep now, I definitely recommend you do so. Pre-prep is very good. I just really wanted more access to my Mitsurugi engine going first and second, so I decided to run one pre-prep since it is a thrust target. All right, and then of course the 4 bricks is going to be Murakumo, Saji, Ritual, and Mirror. Okay, I don't run Kusanagi, I don't run Urumasa. You don't need any of those. This is the bare minimum, and you want to be running the bare minimum. You don't need to be running more than this. Okay, you don't want to make your deck a bunch of bricks. Okay, if you need to mitigate the amount of bricks in this deck. Okay, and yeah, that brings us to non-engine now. So we have a total of, I believe, 17 non-engine. So let's get into this. So reason why I'm not running hand traps, first of all, hand traps are like too crazy this format due to like Yummy being able to play through infinite hand traps. Mitsurugi doesn't lose to hardly any hand traps. You have Draco Tail that doesn't lose, I mean, it does lose to hand traps depending on the hand, but if they have a good hand, it's kind of like hard to beat them with hand traps, I guess, if that makes sense. K9, you know, they actually like it if you hand trap them. So personally, I don't think that hand traps are personally that good this format. The only problem is with Live Twin. Live Twin is not a deck that is basically meant to be playing hand traps. Basically meant to play board breakers, if that makes sense, right? Live Twin is not a deck that you want to be playing board breakers with. It's because you're drawing a lot of cards, right? You're drawing a lot of cards on your turn and your opponent's turn. You don't want to have to draw into, let's say, a Raigeki or a Droplet on your opponent's turn. That's going to be useless, right? And then after that, if you need that extra push and you don't have a hand trap in hand, instead if you have something like a Droplet that you don't have and that you can't use on your opponent's turn, it's kind of like messed up, right? So you usually have like 1 to 2 draws on your opponent's turn, and you're losing out on the maximum value that you do get out of those draws on your opponent's turn. But instead, you're having more impactful cards in the deck that really like shape your ability to beat today's format, right? So that's in my personal opinion. I still think this is still worth it, not as much as I would like it to be, but it's still sort of worth it depending on considering the matchups that you are going to be going against, which is something like Mitsurugi, Yummy. Then you kind of want to be able to run these powerful board breakers instead of hand traps, because hand traps don't really do anything against that deck, right? So yeah, the only really hand trap I'm running in the deck is 3 Ash, and of course the 1 Imperm here, but I'll get to that in a bit. 3 Ash is just basically to play around Full Loss. This deck loses to Full Loss and only Full Loss, and I just really wanted to have my protection against Full Loss. I'm not running Droll because I don't want to have to draw myself when I'm running the Mitsurugi engine, although Droll is more impactful against Full Loss, because let's say if they have a second one, it's not really gonna do anything. But I don't want to have to draw myself if I have a Habikiri, right? So like, or access to my Mitsurugi engine, and I need a bridge into my other engines, right? So that's why I'm running Ash instead of Droll. Ash is still an amazing card though, don't get me wrong. But most of the time, going second, you want to side this out for more better board breakers like Raigeki, Dark Rule No More, or Evenly Matched, okay? And yeah, so this is just mainly full loss protection, and then more the main non-engine is gonna be 3 Book of Eclipse. Reason why I'm running the Book of Eclipse is because it is a settable board breaker, right? So if you draw going first, it doesn't matter because you can set it for your opponent's turn going first, and going second is pretty good against like most matchups. I am considering to subbing this out because this has not been doing so well given the popularity rising in Draco Tail and branded Draco Tail for that matter, or basically any fusion decks or like basically any fusion decks that are in the format is not really good against them at all. Because if you guys didn't know already, you can fusion with face down monsters, so it's kind of hard to play this in a format where like you either have like half of your tournament being like a bunch of fusion based decks, because Draco Tail and Brand is very popular, or you have like a bunch of decks that lose to this straight up, so it kind of gives you that difficulty to decide. So I may cut this down to two copies of Books of Eclipse. I may sub it out for something else. I'm just not too sure what I want to put in just yet, right? I want more settable board breakers, and you can't play Fallen the Virtuous in this deck just because the extra deck is extremely tight. So you can't play something like Fallen the Virtuous, unfortunately. So I do have to figure out something else later on, or I might just keep the Book of Eclipse entirely, or I could just maybe put something like Dark Rule No More. Of course, it's not good going first, but you have cards to discard it with like Baoku, something like that anyways, if you draw into it, right? And of course, you have 3 Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet, of course, it's a staple in Live Twin. You already know how it is. You have so many like tricks you could do with Forbidden Droplet's insane, and it's still an amazing card in today's format. It's so good. Yeah, it's just, I shouldn't need to explain how good this card is. This card is insane. 3 Thrust, 1 Talent. It's just self-explanatory, right? You're able to bridge into a bunch of your different engines. You were even able to bridge into engine, potentially, because a pre-prep that could go into Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire can bridge into any of these, right? Which is absolutely insane. And after that, you also have the 1 Talents, of course, and the 1 Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is also a decent like board breaker against certain decks, like Draco Tail, stuff like that. You could call by either one of the fusions or the hand trap one, 5 mana. You could also use it against Yummy with the Herald of Arclight. You could use it against a lot of different things, and you could like banish a bunch of important resources, and it could banish something like Murakumo if your opponent's graveyard if you need to. It's very good, right? And then after that, of course, you have 2 Forbidden Chalice. I might bump this up to 3, maybe put in a second, just cut one of these for a 3rd Chalice. I'm just still like iffy on that first and for that just yet. And then 1 Imperm, right? Reason we're not running 3 Chalice is because I wanted a card that could sort of fit in the criteria of being a board breaker, but also being a very good settable card going first if you need a thrust for something going first, right? So it's kind of like the replacement for Black Goat Laughs. And reason for that being is like you could thrust for this, but I don't want to have to run something like Black Goat Labs that's not good going second, right? So that's why I'm running Imperm, which is good going second, but also good going first, right? Because you can set this off a thrust. So that's really kind of like the idea of it. And yeah, so for the extra deck, we also have, it's pretty like self-explanatory here. Let's go into the extra deck. Key skill, 1 Lila, and then 1 key skill deal. 1 Trouble Sunny, 1 Abaoku, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Active Day, 1 Desiree, 1 Lacrima, 1 Princess, 1 DDD Wave Hiking Caesar, Zombie Vampire, and IP Masquerena. So I decided to put IP Masquerena in here just because it is a way, it does involve a way to playing around Full Loss. So basically how you play around Full Loss, I'll show you guys very soon how you can play around Full Loss with this specific card. And it's the Mitsurugi engine in general, because the Mitsurugi engine does give you the ability to play around Full Loss, right? And yeah, so that's it for the extra deck. And then for the side deck, there's a bit of a questionable side deck. Still trying to figure it out and sort of like complete the side deck. But this is just an example one for now. Full Loss, 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Raigeki, 1 Duster, 3 Evenly Matched. The Evenly Matched has been insane for me this format. I've really been liking Evenly Matched. And of course, for going first cards, one Solemn Judgment. And unfortunately, we cannot be running Dimensional Barrier. RIP Dimensional Barrier. But of course, it was a reasonable ban. Still, it still made a lot of my matchups easier. So unfortunately, we can't run it. But instead, we could run a little bit of a weaker version of the barrier, which is Simul Archfiend, which isn't bad at all. It's still a very, very good card going first, right? And yeah, so that is it for the main deck. Let's go show you guys a combo that you could do to play around Full Loss. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you guys in this section of the video on how you can play around Full Loss with just like one Habakiri or something like that, right? So I'm just going to be showing you an example hand against an AI here. You'll be going Habakiri though, and they will go Full Loss in this Habakiri here. So let's say if they go Full Loss here, right? I'm gonna be showing you guys how many draws you can be giving them, and still gonna be showing you guys the board you can set up. In spite of giving them this many draws, right? So yeah, we're gonna go Habakiri here. Habakiri resolves. This is gonna be giving the opponent one singular draw so far. So he's gonna have one draw, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a ritual. We're gonna go ahead and grab the ritual, summon from the hand specifically here. We're gonna summon out the Habakiri. Yeah, we're gonna summon the Habakiri from hand. So since it was from hand, it does not be affected by Full Loss. So they still are on one draw. The Murakumo usually will add the mirror, but since we already have mirror in hand, unfortunately, we could just grab the prayers, which doesn't really matter anyways, which is fine. It's okay. We're gonna go with mirror, and then we're gonna go ahead and summon the Murakumo from grave. So still haven't summoned yet from the deck yet. So we're gonna go Habakiri. It's gonna add another prayers here, and then summon back the Habakiri. So still only on one draw. And yeah, then after that, on the second draw, you're just gonna link these two off into an IP, and then set one of your prayers and pass turn, right? So this is mainly the board you're gonna be going for if you get Full Loss. So you give them two draws, but let's see how many interruptions you give them. You actually end up on this hand here. So let's say if you had like more. Oh gosh, okay. AI is killing me here, but basically, if this AI didn't want to be a punk about it, you would have the Murakumo being able to be summoned back off of your prayers, which will not only give your opponent a forceful discard, but it will also give you a board wipe against your opponent. Not only that, then after that, you could use the Habakiri, no, this is not Habakiri. I keep on messing them up. The Murakumo plus the IP, you could go into SP, which will give you 2 banishes. So you get a total of 4 interruptions, which is going to be the forceful discard, the board wipe, and then two banishes, plus whatever you have in your hand, against your opponent's still like 7 card hand, I want to say, which is not bad at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's still better than nothing, than what we would usually do when we would get Full Loss. Before, when we would get Full Loss, we couldn't really do much, and we basically have to pass turn on Full Loss, right? So this is a little bit better than just simply passing turn. Of course, this will be a little bit better if you had hand traps to go along with it, or maybe like a set Book of Eclipse or something like that. But it does make it a little bit harder if your opponent is also playing something like Board Breakers as well. So Full Loss with Board Breakers, that does make it a little bit more difficult, right? Because you only have you have a very small board that can be easily broken by something like as simple as for example, the Fallen Virtuous that has been rising in popularity recently. So yeah, I really want to show you guys this combo though. This combo is useful though for this deck, and it does help this deck play around hand traps. And yeah, I just really want to show you guys. So yeah, let's go into a match though. I do want to show you guys this match I have with playing this deck. So yeah, let's hop right into it. Alrighty, welcome to replay number 1. I do want to be honest. This is against Blue Eyes, by the way, but I do want to be honest here with you guys. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a while, so there is gonna be some misplays. So I do apologize for that. I will note you on these oh my god, on these misplays. So I'll be letting you guys know here. So right here, I should have been normal summon Keyskill first, but I really want to start with Engraver just because of that. I could set up an early Caesar and play around stuff like Nibiru, K9, Izuna, 5 mana or stuff like that, right? But after doing all this, I realized that I had both the Lilas in hand, which is kind of a big problem because then after that, if I'm not able to resolve the key skills effect, I can't dump anything from deck. So it just kind of gives me a big problem to deal with here. So I end up only being able to set up a Caesar, right? And see how he drove me here? This is what I mean, right? This is why we run Sanct, because Sanct is able to play around that droll. So yeah, that's what I meant earlier, as in why I wanted to run a droll instead. I mean Sanct instead of Tract is basically for that reason. So he's gonna go ahead and normal summon Black Metal Dragon. Go ahead and go into Spirit. Black Metal is gonna add Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Then we're gonna add Mausoleum here. He's gonna go Mausoleum. Dump the Blue Eyes. We're gonna negate the Spirit. He's gonna go Maiden, grab the True Light. We have Ash for this set here, so which is really nice here. Gives us a lot of value here. He's gonna extra normal summon into a Veiler. Then after that, banish the Spirit of Blue Eyes that he links up into for this, which is the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. We're gonna go and bump into these, crash into the DD Way Hiking Caesar and attempt to pass turn. So what I do here is I go ahead and go for the Lacrima in order to go into Requiem. Requiem effect is going to go send back Lacrima. See if he wants to do anything here. Use that last card in hand. Apparently he does not. So we end up passing turn. He ends up passing turn here. So we draw into a Murakumo. Not really going to do anything here, which is fine, because we're just going to go ahead and normal summon the Sweet and then go ahead and go into sequence. So at least that sets up our Sweet Engrave here, which I should have done earlier. Earlier I should have just, after realizing that fact, I should at least set like a Sweet or something like that, or like a key skill or something like that. At least one of the Lilas to get them engraved. That way I have something to revive back off the key skill in the extra deck. But you know, that's fine. It's still like we could still go ahead and go sequence, go into Desiree. Desiree is going to be summoned. He's going to go into Maiden. So Maiden is going to summon himself back. We're going to go Desiree shuffle back the sequence in order to send the True Light. True Light is going to board wipe him. And we're going to push for some damage here. So pretty decent damage here. We're going to go 1800. Then go for another 46 here. So it's going to leave him on 16, I believe. Yes. And after Lacrima is going to summon send another Engraver. We're going to summon back the Engraver. Go into IP and pass turn. So here the whole idea is to end on IP, because I really wanted to go for Lacrima, summon back the Agnum Day will summon back Desiree. So not only we'll have an on-field negate plus 2 banishes off the SP, but unfortunately he has Bell in hand, so he goes ahead and negates our Lacrima. Where he's gonna go ahead and go into Blue Eyes, summon back that, then go ahead and go into everything here. So we have no more disruptions here. So thank goodness he couldn't kill us this turn. If not, we would have been quite screwed, to be honest. And yeah, so he's gonna go and attack directly. Then we're gonna go pass to our back to our turn. We draw into Talus, which is really nice here. He's gonna bait out quite a bit of stuff that we do need to be baiting out here, which is nice. He's gonna go ahead and go equipped. So we're gonna go ahead and use Engraver to force out the Spirit of Blue Eyes. We're gonna go ahead and go summon out Spirit Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We're gonna go into sequence, bait out this, and I go ahead and use the Chalice to bait out the Neo Blue Eyes Engrave. So now he has basically no more interruptions, so we're good here. We're gonna go ahead and go into Lila. Go ahead and Lila, summon back Kisco. Go Kisco, summon back Lila. Lila pop the fusion, because I didn't want him to get into another Spirit Dragon, because if not I would have lost. So I really wanted to be patient with that, popping either the trap or the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon first. And the trap doesn't board wipe unless it's face up, by the way. So I really want to wait and popping the trap anyways, right? And yeah, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and go pre-prep. Pre-prep is going to go ahead and grab the Mirror plus the Habakiri. We're gonna go and summon out the Murakumo from hand. We're gonna go ahead and board wipe with the Murakumo, and which is nice here, because if he triggers the Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon, I can go ahead and negate it with Murakumo, and he has no cards in hand to discard, so it's gonna be automatically negated, which is really nice, right? So he's gonna go ahead. We're gonna negate here. He's gonna go ahead and go True Light. Summon back a Blue Eyes. Still not gonna do anything though. He's just gonna summon back 2 monsters to his board. We're gonna go ahead and go Prayers, sack the Murakumo, add the Habakiri to hand, and just summon back the Murakumo. I kind of did that by mistake though. I probably should have just left the Murakumo engraved, but I got like a little trigger happy here and pressed yes to summon back the Murakumo, so my apologies. And next after that, we're gonna go ahead and shuffle back the Mirror into deck. So it's gonna have A little bit of nice follow-up here. We're going to go ahead and go grab another Prayers here. We're going to go ahead and discard the Habikiri and offer the Abaoku, summon back Trouble Sunny, and then summon back the Abaoku here. So really nice board here. We're going to go ahead and go Lacrima, summon back the Agnum Day. Agnum Day is going to grab Desiree. And we have a pretty nice board here. We're going to go ahead and pop the trap. We're going to go ahead and draw a card. And then after that, he's going to go ahead and realize that he has nothing else he could do because I have an on-field Desiree, a Prayers that could sack the Murakumo in order to add something. Murakumo would make him discard and pop this whole board. And of course, we still have a Baoku in order to pop another card on board, right? So with what he's given here, there's not much he could do to win this here. So yeah, that is game 1. Let's go on to game 2. Alrighty, welcome to game 2. This is game 2. Will be post side going against Blue Eyes yet again. And we are going second, right? So he's going to go and go normal summon stage. We have no hand traps in hand, so he's going to be free to pop off. And let's see what he does here. So he's going to go Mausoleum, going to go ahead and go Maiden. Maiden grab True Light. Wishes is going to go ahead and discard, add 2. We're going to go Roar to Blue Eyes, summon out Blue Eyes from hand. From deck, I mean, he's going to go in normal summon stage. Grab another Veiler. Did he already discard a Veiler this turn, right? No, so he has 2 Veilers in hand. Plus a Spirit on board. Plus, I believe he's got 2 Spirits on board. Yeah. And he's going to have Max Metal Morph. And then a set Max Metal Morph. And yeah, that's all we have here, right? So, I did do a mistake here. Okay. I should have did Book of Eclipse first before Dark Ruler No More. Because what he could have done was chain the Max Metal Morph to my Dark Ruler No More. And after he would have the ability to respond to these 2. I believe that's how that works, right? Yeah, I believe you can do that. So what he could have done was use Max Metal Morph to my Dark Ruler No More. And then after I use these 2, go into the Blue Eyes Ultimate or whatever he wants to do. I don't know. Like go into Crimson Dragon, go into Stardust something, Cypher Dragon. I don't know. Basically have 2 negates on board. And he will be able to negate my Book of Eclipse, right? So I should have done Book of Eclipse first, which would then force out these 2, summon back the 2 monsters that he was going to summon out anyways, and then Dark Ruler No More those monsters, right? Which I think that makes sense. I think that makes more sense, right? So yeah, that's my apologies there. Now he's going to still have another interruption here. We're going to go ahead Book of Eclipse his whole board here. We're going to go Key Skill. He's going to go ahead and hand trap the Kisco, which does absolutely nothing. Because we're going to just go into deal, send sweet summons itself back. We're going to go into Requiem summon back Lacrima send Engraver. Going to go into Lila. He's going to go and attempt to negate again, which you do get not draw. I mean, we're going to draw into a Praise that doesn't really do much, but that's still okay. We're going to link into sequence. We're going to go ahead and go Lacrima. Okay, he's going to summon back Blue Eyes. Lacrima is going to summon back the Key Skill deal. We're going to go summon back the Key Skill and we're going to use the Key Skill to summon back the Lala. And then Lala's going to go in and pop the trap. Popping the trap will then result into wiping his whole board. And then he realizes that he has lost. And we end up winning 2-0 there. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And it was very. I personally think it was a very nice match as well. It's a little bit of a misplaced, you know. I really wish I could have played a little bit better, but still, we still end up winning that anyway. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.